We Talk Weeklies after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Lauren
and
Sizzle.
my guy.
Daryl Smith Jr.
And we're here, man. And next up, we have someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. Why don't you, Sizzle, tell us who we have today? Who do we have today?
We have the beautiful Miss Cat. She is a tax professional and multi-talented businesswoman who has dedicated her life to financial literacy. She is the owner and founder of the Woke Money Movement, a movement that was created out of the need to spread economic knowledge to the BIPOC community or BIPOC community or whatever.
Right.
Now working with the BIPOC community, she is determined to make a difference and better every household circumstances. She has the Woke Money Conference in April 2023 of this month. And she will be able to create an inclusive space where all young and old can come together to invoke self-improvement. So the conference is set in Houston, Texas, which is currently the 11th worst state in regards to income inequality.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's looking to expand the Woke Money Conference to city after city throughout the continental U.S. Welcome to the show, Miss Cat.
Miss Cat. There you go. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for your patience. We're in a historic moment in Philly right now. And this is our potential 100th mayor, right?
Oh, wow.
And it's literally like a dozen people running, right? And so, the gloves are coming off, and it's getting real, right?
Gotcha.
And so we wanted to give him the space to talk his talk and see if he should be the person that's jumping in a leadership position for Philadelphia. So I appreciate you being patient for us.
No worries. No worries. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So for those who don't understand what BIPOC is, that's Black Indigenous People of Color and People of Color. And so I know that term has been thrown around a lot, and people are like, what is this? What does BIPOC mean, right? So it's Black, Indigenous, and People of Color, right? And so we are a community. We are the rainbow of good, beautiful people that need to be helped because we are suffering in being marginalized, so to speak. These are the communities that has a history of being marginalized. And so I just wanted to kind of give that clarity to introduce you and the work that you've done. Let's start from the beginning and talk a little bit about, what got you into doing this work right now. And you in STEM. You talking about mathematics now. You do taxi. We in tax season, right? I still ain't getting my taxes.
Yeah.
We gotta get on that, right? And so why don't we start from the beginning? What got you into doing the things that you're doing?
Okay. Well, and thank you so much. So my name is Catherine Mitchell. I'm respectfully referred to as Miss Cat, and the name came about because I actually started before tax preparation. I actually started in film and television. So here in Houston, Texas, I have produced and directed many local productions. I actually have done a feature film, so on and so forth. So I've done a lot of media production in my day. But one thing, well, actually, when back in the day, years ago, when I was in film, we were doing a lot of things out of our own pocket. And so I quickly became a starving artist, for lack of better terms, right? And so I had to find another way because being a single parent of two, I did not want to keep struggling. I wanted to, be able to provide for my children. So a colleague of mine introduced me to tax prep, and from there the rest was history. Becoming from living from pillar to post and just trying to figure out life to being a 6-7 figure earner, definitely has changed my life. So I could say that tax preparation really has changed my life. So from there, being just a tax pro or a tax professional, I have opened up a tax academy where I teach other individuals how to start, streamline, and maintain six-figure tax firms. So that's what I'm currently doing now. But with that being said, being in the tax industry, I do run into a lot of people who, obviously are low income. They live for the tax season, and a lot of times they're so behind in life that once they get their taxes they just kind of blow it, even though sometimes we can get them upwards of 10, 15,000 dollars. And a lot of them want to do better, they just don't know how, they don't know where to start. And so that's what kind of prompted me to be a missionary, an advocate, for financial literacy for my people, because I know what it's like to be broke, and I know what it's like to be there. And I just want to be a voice and a help for my people.
Oh, that's awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about how the name, or I guess the movement, how woke money movement came about? Because now somehow the word woke is basically become like a catchphrase for
Yes,
Republican and their,
yes, yes.
rhetoric. So how'd that come about?
So that's a great question. So actually, myself and a colleague. So shout out to Amadeo. We were trying to find a way to make what I wanted to do real. Like, so I wanted to be a help. I just had to, put a name to it. I had to make it tangible, So we literally just said, you know what? We know that the word woke, is one of those words, but we can reintroduce it for what it really means, So we use it in the literal term, like wake up. It's time to
Yeah.
awaken, right?
Yes.
And let's get to the money. So it's out here. There is, there's resources, but the thing is that most people are just asleep, and in their own world, they're just not um cognizant of what they have access to, right? And so we decided, like, you know what, we're going to shake it up, because we know if we use that word, people are going to be like, oh, what is this, so at least gives us the ability to catch people's attention, right? And then from there, hopefully they'll get the message. So it just, like I said, was just a um two collaborative minds coming together, trying to figure out, like, how can we shake things up, how can we catch people's attention. And so that's pretty much how it came about.
Interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Why was it important for you to create the workshop? To teach others about the work that you're doing, and well, you can answer that, and then the follow up question is, why do you think that's one of the main, I guess, problems that entrepreneurs have when it comes to their taxes? They know how to make the bread, they know how to make the money, but when it comes to tax season, that's the challenge.
Well, so this is, you asked me like two totally separate questions.
Yeah, for sure,
So
for
let me
sure. Yeah.
so I'm gonna answer the first one first. So first things first, the reason why I decided to, you know, uh do my tax academy is because, like I said, before taxes, I was literally living from pillar to post. I was literally, trying to figure it out. I was literally that person that had to check their card first before they swipe. I was making life decisions like, hey, do I pump gas or do I get food? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just felt like this was a way that, that I could give back. But then I also felt like, people could resonate with a person like me. Like, hey, if she can do this, I know I can do it too. She ain't nothing special. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just felt like I would be a good steeple for the community in regards to a real person, not somebody looking high and looking, sitting high rather and looking low, but somebody that's like in the trenches with you, somebody that's been there, done that. And so that's the reason why, I started the academy, because it is accessible. People don't think that, doing basic tax prep that they can make six figures, but I'm a witness that you can. And so that's what, I want to give that gift, to other people,
Right.
so that they can experience that as well. In regards to entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
and why most of, I would say us, we don't be ready for our taxes is because, to be quite frank, a lot of times people just jump out there. They have a great vision, or they have a great idea, but they just jump out there unorganized, um, you know, um, unequipped. You know what I
Right.
mean? So for example, I might know how to make some bad cupcakes. I'm good at making cupcakes, but just because I know how to make cupcakes, that don't mean I know how to run a cupcake business. And
Yes.
so I think that, a lot of times people get a great thing, go viral, or whatever the case may be. Everybody and their mama's talking about how good these cupcakes are,
Yeah.
but nobody stops to do the research on what it, really takes. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why, a lot of entrepreneurs, especially because a lot of entrepreneurship has been bred out of the pandemic. You know what I mean? And so, people are just picking up habits and side hustles. And shout out, to everybody who's doing what they're doing, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of times people are just Googling stuff.
Yeah.
They don't want to pay for mentorship. They don't want to ask for help. They just kind of jump out, off the patio, and then, kind of figure it out later. So I think that's the reason why when it comes to taxes, a lot of people, aren't really prepared already,
Yeah, for sure.
in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And I would think that you're right. Hello, my name is Daryl Smith Jr. I would think that you're right. But I would not, but I'm just wondering from your perspective, yeah, we'll use all the free tools we can. And if I wanted you, I would be charged a fee, as I should, right? So I'm not asking you to sell, but I'm asking you to educate. What does that return on investment look like? If I'm going to pay you, what does that return on investment look like? How do I win?
Yeah.
That's a great question. So the reason why you need a tax professional is because, first of all, you don't know what you're doing. Period. Point blank. If I ask you what the tax credits are, you don't know. If I ask you what the tax deductions are, you do not know. So at the end of the day, you just don't know what you're doing. So most likely, you're not maximizing your return, because you just simply don't know. You're depending and hoping that TurboTax or wherever these free
Oh
softwares,
man.
that they're giving you, you just gotta hope and pray that they're giving you the best of the best. But guess what? When you get audited because you didn't know what you was doing, so you add something on there or do something because you don't know. When you get audited, is TurboTax going to be there for you? Most likely not, right? So when, if first of all, none of my clients have ever gotten audited, and I've been doing taxes for years, but if that were to happen, they do have a direct point of contact. Secondly, on top of that, like I said, I am educated, so I do know, what's best for your tax situation. If it is beyond my scope, because the thing what people don't understand is there's different scopes of tax prep, right? So if it is beyond my scope, I'm gonna get you set up with somebody that can handle that situation for you. And then additionally, I'm gonna help you tax plan. So a lot of times, there's simple tweaks and things that you can do, in your in the current year that you are, to make you not pay so much in taxes, for the next following year. And then, like, I don't know what happened, and I don't know if this happened, out there where you guys are, but a lot of school teachers and things of that nature, like, they were turning off people's taxes, which obviously, during the year, that might have been cool because people were getting, extra money. But when it came to pay their taxes, they were beginning to owe because they weren't paying their taxes throughout the year. So reason, so the reason why I mentioned that is
Hold on,
because,
hold on. Before you go further, because you touched on something, and I'm trying to understand. You said that they were getting their taxes were getting cut off. Can you explain that just a little bit more?
yeah, I apologize. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I noticed that a lot of school teachers. So I don't know if this was something that the government was doing as a relief, due to the
Right.
pandemic, right? But they were making it to where the teachers were not paying taxes. So, when you get your check stub,
Right.
and you should have federal withholdings. They weren't getting the federal withholdings out
Wow.
coming out of their check. So when it came down to pay, to do taxes, a lot of them were owing money because taxes weren't being taken out during the year. So so I mentioned that really to say, okay, when something like that happened, of course, there's nothing you can do when it comes down to tax season.
Right.
We can help you, as best way we can. But is TurboTax going to help you go fill out your W-4 form to ensure that that doesn't happen
No.
again? Okay, so I say all that to say you need a tax professional. You need a Miss Cat in your life, right?
It's
Because at the
cat.
end
That's right.
because at the end of the day, like I said, it's not just about filing your taxes. It's about me knowing your tax situation. It's about me educating you. It's about when you do get that business, I'm going to show you how to go get your LLC. I'm going to show you how to separate your personal from your business. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm going to make sure that everything is set up properly, that you're tracking your expenses, and that you're tracking the right expenses, because you
Right.
can't, just because you have a business, that don't mean you can just write off everything. There's certain things, you get what I'm saying. So I could go on and on and on, but
Yeah.
that's just kind of like the baseline of why you need a tax professional.
For sure, for sure, for sure. We need a Miss Cat in our life.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We need to coin that. You need a Miss Cat in your life.
That's your new hashtag.
You know, that's amazing. And so I'm interested, right? Since you talked about some of the issues and challenges that people were going through, like during the pandemic, right? One of the things that I have heard that people also had challenges was with that PPP loan money. How did you help anyone as it relates to filing taxes based around the loans or the monies that they received? And have you seen more people getting in trouble for that?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't get really involved in any of the
Oh, there you go. Miss Cat knew what she was supposed to say. Nah, I'm keeping out of that one. Yeah, no
I
doubt.
ain't get involved in none of that. Like,
Yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I'm saying? So I couldn't answer that part. But what I will say is, I personally I haven't seen anybody get in trouble for any of those things. But yes, it definitely affected us, everybody nationwide. Everybody
Yeah,
was trying to, get it. And, hey, I ain't mad at none of that.
yeah,
But what it did show everybody, though, on the other side of the fence, is how many people was playing business, how
yeah,
many people was acting like they had legitimate businesses when they really did not.
yeah,
So I think that actually caused a lot of people, or not saying that they really did not, but maybe they didn't know where to go get their LLC. They didn't know how to be legit, and they missed out, even though they was really getting money, through Cash App or whatever the case may be. So I think actually that was kind of a blessing and a curse, because for those that didn't get a opportunity to get it, it helped them to say, you know what, let me get my affairs in order. Let me get my business legit. So that way, if any of this ever happens again, I can be in line legitimately, to receive those funds. So I think it was a big wake up call
yeah,
for a lot of people, just to really go legit,
yeah,
honestly,
for sure.
you know.
Yeah, I think I'm heavy in the NFT space, right?
Mhm.
I have friends heavy in the crypto space, right? And
Mhm.
that has become another conversation based around taxes, filing taxes based around cryptocurrency. Have you got involved in that yet, or have people come to you in terms of needing help with that space?
I'm gonna be honest with you. No, I haven't dipped and dabbled in that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, though, that is something that I am, myself, intrigued about,
Okay.
because you, there's no secret about what's happening, with the dollar, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I am intrigued, but at this point in life, I haven't had, people reaching out to me about that as of yet.
No
You know,
doubt. No doubt.
maybe it's just not heavy enough here. I don't know.
No
But
doubt. No doubt.
Well, maybe a step before crypto is stocks.
Yeah.
And so with, Acorn and Robinhood, et cetera, we have so many more of us, and myself included, investing in stocks, and then we'll get an email for your I-99 form, and now
Your
that may be wrong.
1099. Yeah.
And so, can you talk about why, if you're dabbling in that, and a lot of us are not educated to know if we are the type of trader we are, why they should engage with you or someone for tax prep?
Well, yeah. So when you start, getting capital gains and things of that nature, that is when So I always tell people this as a rule of thumb: if you get a form for it, don't disregard it. So if somebody's giving you a form for your crypto or for your trading or whatever the case may be, that means that needs to be reported to the IRS. That means
Right.
they reported something, so you need to report it, or basically you're gonna be in trouble, especially if it's something substantial. So definitely the rule of thumb for anything is, if you get a form, don't throw it away, don't disregard it. Take it seriously, and you definitely need to file it. So that's always my rule of thumb, especially when it comes to, because they have the 401k thing. There's all kind
Yeah.
of different things, and my clients sometimes get confused. So I always tell them, hey, if you get a form for it, like if you go into your portal and there's a 2021 or 2022 tax form, don't disregard it. That means it's something that you need to report.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have it. You need a Miss Cat in your life. You need a Miss Cat in your life. Before I let you go, I want you to talk a little bit about the app.
Okay. Well, I can't really speak too much on that app because as you see, that is Brian White. So shout out to Brian White. But actually, you see that big P right there. That is my colleague. So the one that I shouted out earlier, Mr. Armadale,
Yeah,
it is his app. So he is
got you.
the owner of Preneur, but he is a dear colleague and friend. So they will be at the conference actually this weekend coming. Lord Jesus, it came so quick. So this Saturday, we are hosting the Woke Money Conference as kind of like the kickoff to the Woke Money movement. And yeah, so basically, Armadale will be there to talk about Preneur and his great app that he has developed. But yes,
Got
you guys definitely need to shout out to Preneur. Y'all definitely need to get on Preneur, because for those that are entrepreneurs, or solopreneurs as we would call it, that app kind of does everything to booking your appointments.
Wow.
You can collect payments. You can do everything. And right now, guys, it is free. So you
Okay.
definitely want to jump on it. Preneur AI is the website.
There you go. There you go. Miss Cat. Look, I'm gonna tell you, you need a Miss Cat in your life. Miss Cat, we talk. We gonna be reaching out to you soon.
For
You know,
sure.
no doubt, no doubt. And so, before we let you leave, why don't you tell everyone how they can get in contact with you, how they can find more, how they can get a Miss Cat in their life, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah, for sure.
exactly. So, well, if you want to, learn more about the movement, we are, building up the Instagram page. So the Instagram is Woke Money Movement. The Facebook is the Woke Money Movement. If you want to connect with me, my Facebook is MSCAT, so Miss Cat on Facebook, and on Instagram it's at Miss Cat TV. If you are last minute and trying to get your taxes filed, you can definitely give us a call at 281 661 3975. That's our number. We do service clients nationwide. So we do have our own mobile app where you can send in your documents, and we can, service you no matter where you're located. So if you are in the Houston area, or if you can pull up, right, we would love to have you at the Woke Money Conference. We're going to have a plethora of different resources and all kind of workshops and knowledge available. So you can get your tickets by texting the word ticket to 832-501-0100. Again, that's ticket to 832-501-0100.
Fantastic, fantastic. I got to talk to my uncle. My uncle actually lives in, I believe, West Houston.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
see?
for sure, for sure.
See? So you need to tell your uncle
Yeah,
to
for
get you
sure.
flued out so you
Uh-huh.
can come so you
I
can
know
come
that's
to
what
the
the
conference.
get flew right out there. Him and his wife run a dealership over there. I think it's the what is the I don't know, one of those Infinity dealerships or something like that. And so, yeah,
Okay.
definitely need that up there. I'm gonna tell them they need a
Yes,
Miss Cat in their life for sure, for sure. So
for
there you
sure.
have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your boy Charles Gregory with your boy. Listen, check this out. I don't want y'all to go anywhere. We still have the Sizzle coming up. We had a dynamic show, man. This is something that you don't want to miss. Your boy Charles Gregg with the beautiful
Lauren
and
Sizzle.
my guy
Daryl Smith Jr.
and the beautiful.
Miss Cat.
Oh,
Miss
Miss Cat. All right. I'm still here.
There you go. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. I gotta give you a shout out to you because your publishers was on top of you. You make sure we got you. We got you. We need Miss Cat in our life. So I don't want you to go nowhere. We'll be right back after this, y'all. We talk weekly after the talk with WPP MLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk.
Hey, this is Roxanne Shante, and your week cannot be complete unless you listen to or watch We Talk Weekly. Please believe it, baby.